Hello, everybody.
Hey, guys.
Welcome to
DJ Talk. So today we have someone special. I don't know everybody's special, but she's
Extra special.
Yes. We have my freshman.
My goddaughter.
Who else? What else? I can't think right now. But anyways, it's Camila.
Hi. Round of applause.
Sorry, my hand's a little messed up. I can't clap right.
So, you want to introduce yourself?
Oh, hi.
She's a little shy, guys.
Give her a little bit.
No, but so how was everybody's weekend? Mine was great.
I mean, week.
What do you mean? Weekend? Week?
Week.
Okay. Weekend, week. So, how was yours?
Mine was rough. My
sure.
work schedule was all over the place, so. But it was good overall, apart from that. Gami?
It was okay, you know. I have a boring job. I work from home, so.
How do you like working from home?
I love it. I don't have to interact with people.
That's true.
But I have to go into the office this week, so I had a bunch of meetings, which I have to do over the phone, which I like, but I mean, I like it.
So you prefer to stay home?
Yeah.
I don't.
Most people don't. I mean, but I've grown to be an excessively antisocial person, which is not, and most people would say is not the healthiest.
No.
So, but now I have to go into
Which
the
gives
office.
us permission to go and steal you
Yes.
on the weekends.
Yes. So come
So
next
this weekend has been extra social.
extra social.
Mommy posted, your mom posted on Instagram.
Yes.
I watched that video 10,000 times. She had posted an Instagram. I don't know if you saw it.
No, I didn't see it.
You know the filters, the crying face?
Yes.
Did it on while she's working.
Yeah.
She was doing it to her.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
And then
that's funny.
she did a monkey filter.
Yeah.
And then what was the last thing?
There was one where it's like the bug-eyed one.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to. So my job is not. Okay, to make it funny, I'm like the Chandler of my family.
Mm-hmm.
You can't find a description of my job.
Chandler as in Friends.
Friends, yeah, the Chandler.
For
boy.
those who don't know.
Yeah. But to easily describe it, I work for a big medical tech company, and I appeal insurance declines.
Uh-huh.
So like, I appeal the negations of them.
Oh.
And so I have to send out to insurance companies like
Yeah.
reasons why we need the money. And so that's like the easy version. Then it gets like really technical. And so I'm writing out these letters, and my mom comes in and she's like, "Gummy, look at me." And it's the crying filter, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" But like I'm laughing, and it just looks like I'm crying.
Yeah.
And so I'm laughing, and I'm like, "Can you stop?" And she's like, "Why?" And she just keeps egging it on.
She's a kid at heart.
Yeah.
No matter what age you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's my best friend.
Aww.
Shout out to Nettie.
Hello. She has to be next on our podcast.
Yes. But
So how did she become your freshman?
I mean, how we knew that for like so long.
So you just like
I was a senior, and then I knew she was coming in.
And she's like, "I'm not letting anybody hurt you."
Yeah.
Or tell you that there's a pool in the basement.
I made you like a little hat or crown.
Yeah.
It was like so sketchy.
She came up to me the first day of college. The first day of high school, she's like, "If someone tells you there's a pool in the basement, or if they tell you that there is something in the attic, there's no attic, and there's no
basement." Yeah, or there's no pool either.
And she's like, "So don't go anywhere."
Yeah. So, my week was fine. I mean, other than one day, Mackenzie had like a tantrum, or not a tantrum. She was just driving me nuts. And then we had the weekend of volleyball, and then I hurt my finger. So
She got boo-boo on her
wearing a
finger.
cast, if you can hear. It's a metal cast now, but it's kind of messed up. It's like jammed or what. It's bruised. I can't move it, but we'll see what happens.
Well, Gami took a look at it.
Yes. She
She's
wrapped
like,
it up for me.
Good job.
Thank you.
She's a
but
super
yeah.
mom with the metal cast. She's with the Nutribullet going zzz, zzz,
Yeah.
making her baby's food, cutting up what is it? Butternut
This butternut
squash with a metal
squash.
cast going,
Oh, yeah.
ow.
Yeah, I gotta do what I gotta do for the kids. So, but yeah, and then so today we're gonna be talking about motherhood and toddler tantrums.
Right on.
So we're just gonna tell stories about whatever we could think of. But speaking of toddler tantrums, like yesterday, Mackenzie was just driving me nuts.
Oh my god.
She was not listening. She knew what she was not supposed to be doing and all this stuff, and she was just testing my limits yesterday to the max. But
Well, she's also at that age between 2 and 3.
Yeah.
You're kind of transitioning.
between toddler tantrum and a three-nager, so she's like transitioning. But that was just only a day. I mean,
You used to babysit, right?
I nannied a baby. Well, I babysat most of my young adult time in college because that's the most money you can get when you're that age.
how much do you get paid for babysitting?
The most I ever got paid was $25 an hour.
Sorry, I'm like drinking. I'm almost choked. Really?
That's a
Yeah.
lot.
Wow.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
pretty good.
And
But
that
you-
was when
you
I
had
was
to-
nannying.
But you have to be like every day, right? Like
Well, it's a normal job, like 8 in the
like 8 to
morning
4 or
yeah.
whatever.
And I was
Oh.
taking care of 2 kids at the time.
Mm-hmm.
The baby and a kid.
Yeah.
He was 6, 7.
Oh, okay.
And I was taking care of most of the house and making sure to pick him up from the bus stop, the kid.
Yeah.
And the baby, I would wait. Well, I'd get it there, and he just woke up, and the mom would go to work, and the kid was off to school, and I would put the baby down for his first nap, and then his second nap, and make breakfast, and the house was under renovation, so I'd have to make sure that the workers in the house were, doing what they had to do, and sometimes I would have to send her emails for stuff that she was, because they owned the husband and wife owned a small business, so
Yeah.
send her pictures of emails that she needed and catering stuff that she needed.
Really?
Yeah, so it was full on nannying.
Mm-hmm.
But then I babysat another kid from 3 years old to from 2 years old to 4 years old.
Yeah.
And then I babysat our pastor's kid for a year and a half. And yeah, I mean, babysitting is a completely different thing because you're just doing that for a few hours. At maximum, you're doing that for 5 hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this was full on nanny.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I did it from the baby was 8 months old, and then the last time I took care of him, he had just turned 2.
Oh, wow, long time.
Yeah.
Jeez.
How did you deal with the tantrums? Or did they have tantrums?
Oh, so many tantrums because it was the terrible twos. So
Yeah.
so I mean, it's hard because I'm not his mom, so
Yeah.
I can't do the typical mom things of instilling not punishment because you have to be careful with that, but I had to timeouts and I'd have to call his mom and be like, well, what do you want me to do and what is it that you do? And
Yeah, so you
have
guys
to-
stick to the same routine.
yeah, and
Yeah.
well, what is it you instill in the kids? And also the oldest kid was at that age of he's 6 going into 7. Well, when I started taking care of him, I think he was 5, and the last time I took care of him, he was about to turn 8. It's a weird age,
Yeah.
and the parents were divorced from the first marriage, and this kid was
From the
from the new marriage.
Oh, okay.
So it was
okay.
it was a
Oh,
weird
okay.
kind
Situation.
of dynamic.
Yeah.
So I had to be very careful of what I was saying and what I was doing.
Oh, wow.
And so, one kid was having tantrums from a whole different kind of spectrum of behavior and age gap, and the other one having tantrums from a whole other age gap. So I had to deal with, the older kid wanted to go ride his bike to go to his friend's house, and I was like, no, you didn't finish your homework, and he would throw a tantrum and wanted to go on his iPad, so I had to take the iPad away, but the baby was having a tantrum because he wanted to
My
watch,
life.
Baby Shark, and I was like, no, you can't watch Baby Shark.
It's a lot, right?
It was a lot, and
Yeah.
I'm not the mom, so,
Yeah.
it's different, but, I feel like when you're the mom, it's even harder because, it's your baby, so you kinda
Yeah.
you want to coddle it, but you don't want to coddle them because, I mean...
That's how it is with Mackenzie. Like, when she throws tantrums. I mean, I don't yell at her or anything like that, but I take her to, like, somewhere else, like, just me and her.
Yeah.
And, like, just tell me, like, what's going on. And I'm like, okay, well, you need to calm down first, and then, you know, we could do whatever you need to do. But I'm like, just talk.
Yeah.
But then she calms down. She calms down pretty fast. I'm not gonna lie. So she doesn't really throw that much tantrums.
Yeah.
She just, like one time, like, she'll just wake up from a nap and all of a sudden just be very cranky.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is wrong with you? You just took a nap. You should be happy. But yeah, but other than that, she doesn't really throw too much tantrums. She just, like, she'll, like, do, like, a little attitude. I'm like, hey, don't do that. And then be like, sorry, Mommy. But, yeah, she's overall a pretty good kid. I'm not gonna lie.
You're inspiring the way you, like, like, when we went to Walmart today. And
Shopping. According to Mackenzie's, we're shopping.
I went there shopping.
That's why it's very social for you. Social weekend.
Social weekend. But when we went shopping, like, even, like, it wasn't even a full-on tantrum, but, like, Mackenzie had a moment where she was just like, no. And, like, you were just like, Mackenzie. And, like, you just, the way you react, you don't treat her like a child, but you don't treat her like an adult. You're, like, very neutral about it, and it's very inspiring.
Oh,
like,
thank you.
No, but, like, it's good
because
it's good because, like, I feel like, I mean, that's how my mom raised us too. Is like, it's a very, like, you don't want, you don't want to overreact, but you don't want to underreact. Like, I don't like when parents are like, I'm gonna count to 10, Timmy.
Yeah, right.
But I tried that with Mackenzie. I'm like, I'm gonna count to 3, and if you don't, and then she'd be like, 1. She starts counting. I'm like, that's not working right now.
That's not what I
know. I don't want to do.
Yeah.
But, like, I feel like you don't want to treat them like they're a child, even though they are a child.
Yeah.
But you don't want to treat them like they're an adult because then that gives them range to be sarcastic and rude.
Yeah.
But you also want to find where you respect them so that they respect you. And I feel like that's what you do with her. Like, you treat her like a person.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's important. Like, they are a person. They're
are.
not, you know.
Exactly. Like, today she was coming at me and she was hitting me with the book. And she knows she's not supposed to hit me with the book. So I'm like, all right, you're going to time out. And I put her in timeout. But, like, as soon as she knew that I was going to put her in timeout, she starts freaking out because she doesn't want to go in timeout. Yeah. But I'm like, sorry, but you have to go in timeout. You know you're not supposed to be doing that. Yeah. We taught you that many times. And, you know, you go in timeout. Yeah. And then she's, like, crying, you know, let her sit out for, like, 2 minutes. And then I'm like, okay, do you know why you're in timeout? Yeah. She's like, hit Mommy. And I'm like, what do you say to Mommy? She says, sorry. And, like, gives me hugs and kiss. So, you know.
Yeah, that's important.
But it's true, like, you don't want to coddle them.
Yeah.
Like, when I hear her crying because she's going to time out, I want to be like, oh, no, it's okay.
I feel bad, too.
Yeah, so, like,
no,
that's
but, like, no, because I
different.
put her in timeout sometimes if I have to.
Well, yeah.
But the way she cries, it's like, oh,
I know, it kills me.
Oh, yeah.
It kills me, but they need that authority.
They need to know. If they don't go to timeout, they're never gonna know what's right and wrong.
Oh yeah.
If you tell her, oh, it's okay, then she's gonna think, oh, it's okay to hit somebody.
Yeah. It's okay to do whatever she wants to do.
So you can't.
Yeah, no.
I remember I was babysitting the kid that I took care, the nanny for the longest, and he had an obsession with cookies, and I have an obsession with cookies. So I would coddle that behavior the most. Mm-hmm. Not in a bad way, but, like, I would be like, okay, like, one more cookie. Because I was eating cookies, so I'd be like, okay, one more cookie.
Yeah.
But then it got to a point where...
It's all gone?
No, I wouldn't be looking, and he would sneak into the pantry and grab cookies. Oh. But I wasn't noticing it. Mm. And so one day I caught it, and I was like, no, you can't do that. And so he started fake crying. And I was like, no, that's not fine. So I put a rubber band over the thing, because they didn't have baby locks on that. So I put a rubber band over the thing. And while I wasn't looking, I was cleaning up, he reached over, opened the door, and snuck his hand.
What?
Like, opened it.
Yo, these kids are smart. I'm telling you.
And I was like, no. I, like, called out his name. I was like, no, we don't do that. And so I grabbed him. I took the cookie out of his hand. I, like, picked him up. I took him upstairs. I put him in his crib. I turned the lights off. I put the blackout.
Wow, you really went all out.
And I was like, you're in timeout now. And I closed the doors. I, like, turned everything off. And he cried and he cried, and I had the baby monitor on, and then he stopped crying, and he started climbing out of the crib.
Oh my!
Because he stopped, like he did one of those things where he's like, and he like wiped his tears, like his fake tears off, because he knew he was fake crying.
Yeah.
And he like climbed out of his crib, and he started shaking the door.
Like, let me out!
And so I didn't let him out, and finally, like after 10 minutes, he stopped. But he was out of the crib. He was just wandering around, and he didn't really have toys in his room. All of his toys were downstairs, but I knew if I put him in timeout downstairs, like, he'd wander off.
Yeah.
So
and how old was he?
He was 1. He had just turned 1.
Oh, okay.
And so I went upstairs, and I was like, do you know why I put you in timeout? And he looked at me all, like, upset and annoyed.
Like,
and I was
pissed
like,
off.
no stealing cookies. We don't do that. If you want a cookie, you ask Gami. No stealing cookies. And he just gave me a smile, like, okay. So I brought him upstairs, whatever. Brought him downstairs, whatever. An hour passed, and he did the same thing again.
Oh my god! Yeah, they test you.
And I was like, no. Like, I called out his name, and I was like, no. Do you want to go back upstairs? And he dropped the cookie. He went back to the couch, and he sat down, and he wiggled his feet, like, in the air. It was just like,
fine.
and I'm like, I couldn't believe it.
Because they're testing your limits. They
Yeah.
just testing to see if you're actually going to do it again.
Do it again.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the heck, man? And, like, that was the first time I had ever put a kid in timeout, because before, like, usually, like, you say no. And, again, like, that was the young, like, before that, I had, again, babysat kids with other parents around. Like, I was always the oldest in my parents' friends group. So, like, they'd be like, oh, we're dropping off the kids with Gami. And it was at dinner parties, and I would change diapers, and I would be like, okay, here's your kid back. I don't want him anymore.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. But, like, that was the first time I was, like, with a baby for the longest. So having to deal with timeouts for the first time ever was, like, scary.
It's hard.
Because, like, I don't know what to... And it's not my kid. How do you discipline someone else's kid without crossing a line of, like... Hey, I don't know how to discipline your child without being like, how far is too far?
Because that's the thing. Because I saw a video on TikTok that this like 8-year-old just literally pushed maybe like 2-year-old, 3. Yeah, you saw that in a water park or something like that.
Oh my god, yes.
And I'm like, I wanted to punch that kid. Like, but you can't do anything because you can't say anything to that kid.
That's not your kid.
But I would be like looking at the mom, like, dude, like, control your kid. Don't like teach your kid to freaking push other kids like that.
That's astounding.
And he hit the ground hard.
Yeah, I would go up to the me as the parent would go up to the other kid's parent and like beat the crap out of the other parent.
Yeah,
like, you want me to push you to the ground?
Yeah, like I was like so shocked.
Yeah.
That's why I want Mackenzie to have like to interact with other kids. But
well, today in Walmart, she said hi to a kid.
We saw that.
Saw that.
The little boy was all like cheesy, and it was like, oh, and then I was trying to tell his mom. It was so funny.
And then like we walked out of the bathroom, and there's like an older guy walked past by, and she was hi. I was like, oh, she's so friendly.
She is. She's a little bit too friendly sometimes, but you gotta keep an eye on her. She was trying to hide from me today. Remember from Walmart? I'm like, oh, there's me. There we go. There it begins.
And so it starts.
Yeah.
But that's funny.
Oh.
To an extent. And I feel like, again, you did the way you handle that was like the right way. You were like, all right, if you don't stop, you're gonna be put in timeout. And she like immediately was like, okay,
no,
yeah, I don't want that.
Yeah. I'm like, you better get your ass back here because you don't want anybody taking you. You know. I'm like, if you don't, I mean, what did I say? I'm like,
someone's gonna take you.
Someone's gonna take you. You're not gonna see mommy again.
And she's like, no.
She's like, oh my gosh, yeah. Well, I mean, you don't know in this world. You know?
Yeah, when you started doing timeout with her, remember that one time I was here, and you put her on timeout for something? I was in the living room, and she comes up to me, and she's like, sorry, Tia. I'm like, for what?
Oh yeah, I don't know, but she's saying sorry.
She was learning to say sorry but she's saying sorry to everybody.
Yeah.
She came up to me when one day when I was watching them. She came up to me. And she goes, "Sorry, Tia." I'm like, "For what? What'd you do?" She goes, she shrugs her arms up like,
I don't know.
I'm like, oh, okay, sure.
I'm sorry at this point.
But she knows now. Like if I always ask her like, why did I put you out? And I'm like, okay, so you don't hit mommy.
Yeah.
And then she's like, sorry.
Yeah. I feel like I mean, I'm gonna be 25 in 2 weeks. And
Happy birthday!
thank you,
Birthday
thank you.
shout
I know,
out.
25 is like that's like the midpoint of like you're getting ready mentally to be like, okay, I think
An actual adult. No.
yeah, and you're like getting ready to be like, okay, I think I'm ready to be a parent. I think I'm ready. Like I think I want a child. Like in my case, I definitely want a child. I'm ready to settle down. And I think about all the things, like I see you as a parent, I see my parents, I see a bunch of my friends who are having children, and I'm like, there's so many different ways to handle being a parent and handle like parenting and things like that. And I feel like there's no right or wrong way. Although you can have an opinion and be like, oh, I wouldn't do that. But like,
Well, yeah.
I feel like there's no right or wrong way. It's just like such a scary world of like, especially the world we live in and everything that's going around, and like, especially after the pandemic and everything, I feel like it's such a like, so much goes on. You just think about
The kids.
Yeah.
I always say to myself, why am I bringing these kids into the world
Right?
when it's like going like downhill, basically?
But like I desire it so much
Yeah.
at the same time. It's like my heart is being pulled in two different ways.
Yeah.
It's like,
I know.
what do I do?
It's tough because like I always think about them now and like in the future, like what's gonna be like for them, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is what it is, you know.
Ultimately,
Life.
we could just make it a better place for them.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see. How many kids do you want?
I used to always say 4.
Start off with 2 first and see. Go ahead.
Well, I used to say 4 because I was ambitious. But I don't know. I mean, honestly, I can't. I don't even have a boyfriend, let alone someone to be like, well, how many do you want?
Yeah, right.
So I'd have to have a boyfriend or a partner and to be like,
Meet in the middle.
yeah, to see how much
Well,
they want.
speaking about boyfriends,
There's no prospects.
that was my question.
There's no prospects. Nothing.
Well, that's the reason why you should go out.
You
a
sound
little
like the
more.
rest of my family.
Hello, you're giving advice. How about take your own advice?
I do go out.
Yeah, but do you
Once
meet
in a while.
guys? Yeah. You don't
You sound
go
like
on
the
dates.
rest of my family. They're like, just go out.
Would you
and-
do speed dating?
Do it.
I've done online dating.
Really?
Online dating is like,
Well, okay, it's a 50-50 because I've talked to a few guys. So I've done Hinge,
Oh,
Okay.
really?
and it's not that bad. I've met decent people, and I've met some weird people, and I've met some people. Where
yeah,
it's just like,
thank you. Yep.
why?
You were like,
are you
I'm not
here?
even giving you time of day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And then I've met people that are nice, but it's just like there was like 2 guys that I met, and then that's where I was just like, I can't. They were very nice guys, but they were divorced and had kids already. And it's not anything.
hard.
Yeah, it's not anything against them, and they were great, but like I don't feel ready to get into
Well,
that.
see,
Yeah.
that's you're gonna be 25.
Exactly.
In my case, I'm gonna be 35.
Yeah.
So, would I date somebody with kids at this point?
Yeah. Do it.
Probably.
Yeah.
You should.
Because my age group, either they already had kids, like it's very now rare to find somebody without kids.
Yeah.
Would I take it on? Yeah. But then you think about the kids. That's
Yeah.
where I have an issue with. Because you don't want them to feel like, oh, my daddy's dating somebody, they're going to replace my mom. You know what I mean?
Well, like,
No,
one
but
of
the father
person-
should be saying that to kids.
No, I
Yeah.
know, but still,
Yeah.
like...
And again, it matters about the guy, because, like, for example, in one of the cases, the one guy was, like, very nice and very upfront and told me his story and told me about his kids, and he
See,
was,
that's
like,
good.
very...
He was honest from the beginning.
Yeah, and he was very nice, and, like, the guy was Christian. Like, I'm Christian, so that matters to me. Like, it was all, like, he was meeting all the right points, and then he told me about his kid, and I was, like... And I was honest. I was, like, for me, that's too much. I appreciate you being honest, and I feel like I should be honest. Like, for me, that's too much. So, I feel like this is where, for me, I check
I'm
out.
done, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, I understand and I appreciate it, and I had a very nice conversation with you. Thank you so much. Like, it was all
See,
very
that's
nice.
good because you guys were both honest.
Yeah.
And on your end, at least you didn't keep going with it.
Yeah.
and then like let's say 3 months down the road, you're like, you know what, it's not working out.
Yeah.
And he just was like, oh.
Right, and like it was very nice. There were other circumstances where there were just guys where it was just like they were just flat out honest about other things that they wanted, and I was like, no. No.
Peace.
Bye.
Yeah.
And then there was just very weird guys, and then there were guys that were nice, but then like they ghost you, and then like you're just like,
Oh my gosh.
yeah, it's just like very like it's so like it's such a diverse pool that out of the dating apps, I think that one is the most diverse of all types of guys. And I enjoy it of all the different ones because Tinder is just like, you know what it's for.
Christian Mingle, tried it. That's like the worst one.
But I feel like,
think.
but I like.
Didn't you get like catfished or something?
No,
on there?
that was on
eHarmony?
Yes.
Well, okay, if you
I
like,
had to do a
pay-
claim and everything.
But if you have to pay for a dating website, I feel like it's automatically like
No, you have to
Yeah.
pay to get like more access in a sense of like
exactly. If you have to pay for that,
Yeah,
it's
it's like-
automatically a red flag. Versus
Yeah.
like Hinge.
Well, I
This
know
is not
I've known
a promo
people
for
like
Hinge
no
either.
guys, it's not an ad for anything.
No.
This is just from experience.
Yeah.
No, but like
Yeah, we're not sponsoring it, guys.
No.
Like I've known people who met on Match and got married.
Yeah.
So like that's cool. But
I know people that met on
eHarmony,
Bumble and were like, oh, I fell in love. And I'm like, how?
right? But no, I did get catfished on. You remember?
Yeah, I
eHarmony.
remember.
Remember I was asking mommy like,
Yeah.
what is this?
Yeah.
This guy was like spitting out like really nice lines, but I'm like, that sounds very familiar. I think, but I'm an English major. I took Shakespeare as class, so I'm like,
I remember that guy. Yeah.
and I was like, I remember these lines from somewhere. So I copied and pasted on Google, and it said all Shakespeare.
Yeah.
So he took lines from Shakespeare
To talk to you?
to talk to me
To get to you?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, remember, I was like, okay, so let's video chat. He's like, I can't. I was like, why not? And he goes, because I'm in Turkey for like army base or something like that.
Oh,
I was
no.
like, I know people, like, you know, Marisa's son who's overseas, right?
Yeah.
I was like, I know people who have sons or daughters or family members across seas, and they're allowed to video chat. He's like, no, this is top secret. So I was like, red flag number 2. And then I just kept going, and I said, what else did I say that really, I was like, I'm done. I forgot what I said, so when are you coming back? And he's like, oh, in 2 months or something. I was like, okay, so would you want to, like, meet up? He goes, no, I can't. I was like, you know what? I'm done.
Wow.
I'm
Didn't
done.
he send you
that.
stuff, though?
No.
Didn't someone send you stuff? I feel like someone on a dating app sent you stuff.
Oh, pictures, but they were fake pictures.
Of him, like himself?
Yeah, because I took the picture and
Like
I put
face?
it on Google. No, like the body. So I took a picture, like a selfie. So I took a picture, I put it on Google, and it was a completely different person.
Oh my gosh.
That was bad.
But,
Yeah.
so you would have to, like, reality, like, you want 4 kids, if anything.
I mean, I don't know. I used to be someone that planned like every single detail of their life, and I have not OCD, but like I used to be very obsessive about every little detail of my life, down to the where I wanted to live and the house and the color and the, you know,
Like, extreme
Square feet.
detail.
Yeah,
Oh.
like,
The square feet, the
everything.
colors, and the house.
The color of the grass.
Right.
The
One
trees
has
that
to
were
be
planted
light green, the
outside.
other one has to be dark
It has
green.
one
Trees that were
inch.
planted outside and the color of the flowers that were planted and the white, exactly, not white picket fence, but a light bluish white.
Oh my god.
Right. Not
And
dark
has to
blue,
have
not
the
navy.
right amount of picket wooden
Yeah.
fence. Like-
But then I realized that like all of that stuff is just like semantics, and it specifically happened after I broke up with my ex-boyfriend. None of that mattered, and all of
Yeah.
that was just
Yeah.
causing more anxiety and more frustration, and it doesn't matter. And ultimately, I end up feeling frustrated and upset, and I'm putting pressure on myself for something that is realistic in the
Yeah.
long run. So what matters is as long as I'm happy, I'm in love with someone that is meant for me.
Mhm.
And like I said, I'm Christian, so as long as I have like God and you know, purpose in my life, everything else will fall into place.
Yeah.
Nothing else matters. So
How many kids do you want?
When I was younger, I said 6.
Oh my gosh!
you manage 6 kids.
6 kids.
I did. Now, I'll probably good With two or three.
Yeah.
2 or 3.
After Mackenzie and Rihanna.
No, I'd still want more after them.
Oh my gosh.
I'm good.
I
But I
always
don't know.
wanted
It just
twins.
depends.
I always wanted
Okay,
twins.
so we asked
No.
Mackenzie. Mackenzie, do you want a brother? So she goes, brother. And we're like, how many? She goes, 2.
I'm
I said,
like,
twins are
Mackenzie. I'm like, where are you cutting 2 from? No
I
way.
found out my dad, on my dad's side of the family, twins are, like a thing.
Like, it's very, like, common.
Not very common, but it's common. Because, like, somewhere in my dad's family, like, twins are common. So I was like, okay,
You
either my
could.
brother or me could have twins.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if
It skipped a generation.
it skips a generation.
Because it
means
skipped you.
It's-
Well,
it
your
skipped
dad.
my dad.
It
but
skipped your dad.
It skipped my
Yeah.
dad
So
because
you
it's
probably
either
would have
me
it.
or my brother.
Oh,
Or
no.
No, it's either me or my brother because it skipped my grandma and it skipped my dad.
So it could be
but
you.
my grandmother's sister had twins.
Okay. So then, yeah.
So it's,
You were born first, so
I was
maybe
born-
you.
I don't know. But
Oh
I found
my
out.
God, that's
I found out that,
crazy.
and I was like, I always wanted twins. And my brother's like, well, I'm probably gonna have them. I was
I
like,
can see your brother
no.
doing that.
I want a boy, but I wanted, like, the first one to be a boy, so I wanted Mackenzie to
Do you
be
want
a
another
boy.
one?
I don't know. I
Yes,
mean,
she does.
maybe one more. Maybe one more, and that's it. I think
Chris
I'm
in
done
the
after that.
background going, no.
Yeah, right? Because I think he's listening, but no, I don't know. Maybe one
Hey,
more,
Chris,
and then...
do you want another baby?
No, but we'll see. If it's another girl, then I'm like, I'm done. I'm not gonna be like 19 kids and counting, like trying to reach for a
Keep trying
freaking
for the
boy. Yeah, because I've seen people like on like TikTok or whatever internet,
Just
and
keep trying and
they
trying
keep trying and trying. Like their 6th kid, they finally have a boy or a girl,
boy.
whatever
That's
they
it.
wanted, you know.
That's what happened with my mom. My grandfather was like, they tried and they had my uncle Adrian, and then they were like, okay, let's try one more time, and they had my uncle Mariano, and they were like, okay, we're gonna try one more time. If we don't have the girl, we stop. And they would like prayed, and they were like, come on, give us the girl. And they were like, if we don't have a girl, we'll just stop. And so they had my mom, and they were like, oh thank God. And I
Yeah,
was like, I was the chosen one. They wanted me all along.
yeah, yeah. I don't know.
So, wedding. What type of wedding would you like?
I wanted an outdoor wedding.
But small or like
Yes.
intimate or
Yes.
like
I don't want a big wedding. I want it outside in the middle of the woods. I know that sounds creepy.
No, that's nice
No.
though. It's
But
like
I want-
rustic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want it in the middle of the woods.
You are a rustic girl.
Yeah, specifically like I'm a huge like 70s person. Like I love like the 70s feel.
Really?
Yeah, like that.
Let me look that up.
I like love like the
Let's
like
see.
the vibes
The
of
vibes
the
from
70s. Like the you know kind of
The
colors,
style and
the
all that?
style, the muted tones, the
Yeah.
like the groovy.
So are you gonna make everybody dress in the 70s?
No, but I like the sleeves and the like kind of like the groovy.
Oh,
vibe.
it's kind of like hippie in a way, and
yeah,
like
the
tie-dye.
when they smoke that good crap, you know.
Yeah, not the
You
tie-dye,
know.
just like the very groovy.
No, like with the pants are like, you know, like
Yeah.
the Brady Bunch.
Yeah,
like the very
that-
groovy.
It's the
vibe.
Brady Bunch.
Yeah, like the groovy
The
vibe.
Brady,
Just,
groovy.
yeah, just groovy.
Groovy,
vibe.
baby. Like
So,
Austin
yeah.
Powers.
yeah.
Yeah, but like kind of just like remove like the yeah, like the whole groovy vibe, but like in the middle of the woods, just like have like this like really cool long ethereal dress with like really long sleeves
I can see that.
and like my hair just like
Make
With
sure
the
it's not a
flower
hot day.
crown.
flower crown or just like this really like long like Spanish veil.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and just like make it look like very like ethereal, like very like fairy goddess kind of thing. Because it's in the middle of the woods, so like
Would you want bridesmaids?
probably 2, 3. Yeah,
2 right here.
2 or 3.
Damn,
Like, not
just
a lot.
consider yourself as a bridesmaid.
Heck yeah, I mean I don't have that many friends. It's probably
I mean,
gonna
I
be you
consider
2
her-
and Nicole.
Who's gonna be Nicole?
Oh,
Oh,
my brother's
who's
girlfriend.
that maid of honor?
Probably Nicole. I'm sorry.
Wow.
Wow.
Talk
Just
about
kidding.
putting yourself in the spot. Look, Mackenzie and Ariana could be your flower girls.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I have no one else but those 2 girls.
And
that
if you have a boy,
Ring
Ring
barrier.
bearer.
So we'll
Little
see.
tuxedo, little
Oh
cute.
my god.
Yeah.
Or I could have Tony and Max.
Aww.
Max will be like sniffing
No,
everybody
Max
else.
is gonna run away because when Max came to the vet, he like wanted to jet. Like he
Jet all the
got
time.
he got this
He's gonna
freaking
see a
harness.
squirrel just jet, and Tony's gonna be like, "Really? Like we're at a wedding?"
I'm usually a very, for the most part, mommy likes to consider myself very dramatic, which is true. I am very dramatic. I'm not gonna lie. But I like to consider myself very simple, so I don't want to
too.
do anything very extravagant. So I'd like to have something very simple. My one request is that it be in the middle of the woods, and my mom's like,
Damn
"That's
it.
very murder-esque." Like, that's creepy.
Yo, your mom. Talk about dramatic.
She's like, "That's creepy." And my dad was like, "I'm not going in the middle of the woods." And I was like, "But the
What if you do it, like, what if
reception
you
will
do it,
be in
like-
the barn."
I was gonna say, why don't you do the reception and the ceremony in the barn?
That's I there's this place in Pennsylvania that they do like a reception in the barn, and then they have this path in the woods. It's not all the way in the woods, but it's like they have this
Kinda
like
like-
tree
Ooh.
that's like kind of edged out, and then they have these trunks that are made into
Oh, that's
seats.
pretty.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've seen that before.
Yeah, it's like right in Pennsylvania. It's not
Yeah.
that far from here. And so they have it all set up so you can have your wedding in the woods, but it's not in the middle of the woods. But it's beautiful. And then they have this like barn set up for like your reception, and so you could do it.
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
And then the bridal party can stay in there, like it's like a bed and breakfast
Oh,
inn.
okay.
So like the night before you can stay in there.
We
Yeah.
Party
hard.
And then in the morning, mimosas.
Yeah, party hard. Party hard.
Don't careful with this one.
No,
Careful
I'll be
with
fine.
me. I'll party hard.
We both party hard, and
But,
then we'll
And
come.
then
We'll come
I'm
late.
gonna
We're
have
like,
the
oh,
wine.
my
And
the
head.
next morning we're just
I
like,
walk down the aisle. I'm like, oh.
People and then people clapping at their like.
oh, shh, guys.
Guys, shh. We'll ask like the guy like to announce it. Please do not clap or scream when walk down the aisle.
looking at my dad who's gonna officiate the wedding. Papi, shh, be quiet,
Oh, yeah.
please. My mom was like, you should have your dad like marry
That
you
would be
off.
really cute.
Does he have like the ordained thing that to marry
He
people?
wants to. He wants to do it.
Do
And
it online.
Chris's brother did it.
Really?
Yeah,
You
he
do
has it.
online.
Well, my mom said either to do it online or
Yeah.
like, to officially get himself like ordained.
Because Chris's brother did it online,
Yeah.
and he has it now.
Because he has to do a wedding, right? Or he did it already.
He did one. He was going to do one, and then he got scammed. But then, he was gonna do. He's doing another one.
Okay.
That's cool.
So, but he originally got that to marry me and Chris.
Aw.
So he's gonna marry me and Chris one day. Yeah. So one of
See,
these
I think
days.
that's special. I think that's special when
Yeah.
you like marry your family. I think
Would you
that's, like-
want your dad to marry you?
Yeah, but then I thought, who's gonna give me away?
No,
Well,
you
you know
can still
how-
have him give you away.
You know how David walked Christy down the aisle and then married her?
Well, I thought if I can convince my grandfather to fly from Colombia.
Oh my god, I would
Wait,
cry.
your grandpa's from Colombia?
No,
No,
my
he
grandfather
moved there.
moved to Colombia to be with his wife.
Oh.
Yeah, after my grandmother died.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I mean,
I would cry
that's
if
why.
I saw that.
Yeah, so I figured if I can convince him to fly. Well, see, because he doesn't fly. He hates flying now. So I was like, if I can convince him to fly to Florida and then drive him to New Jersey, he can
Yeah.
give me away. And then
Sorry, with the baby in the background.
she hates my story.
She's like, I want to hear about it.
And then he can give me away, and then my dad can marry me off.
But
Yeah.
would your dad be okay with that? Because you're the
I don't
only
know.
girl. That's the thing.
I'm the only
Yeah.
girl, but I told my dad the idea, and he kind of got misty-eyed, so I don't know.
Aww.
I
But
think
that
he
is not
wants-
happening yet. But like,
Yeah.
My
but
dad's
he
like,
wants
just
to-
find a husband first.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it later.
Oh. Yeah.
That's
he-
all I'm saying.
well, we'll
I don't
see.
know.
And I told my dad, I was like, maybe you can give me away, and he's like, Camila,
No.
don't talk
see that.
nonsense. He's
No.
like, don't talk nonsense.
But would he be part of your wedding though? Like,
I
he
would
want
want
to?
him to, but he's like, find a husband first. That's everybody's response.
Find a husband
Because then he
first.
can walk with Nicole.
Well, that's what I told him, because I was like, well, most likely Nicole will be my maid of honor if they get married first, like, which I doubt, but like if they get married first,
Matron.
matron of honor.
Then you can have a maid of honor.
Then I can have a maid of honor.
Or what's matron of honor?
It's when you're married. Like if you get married,
then you'll be my matron and she'll be my maid.
Oh. I just thought about it. Maid of honor means you're a maid to...
Yeah, you serve the bride.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you
don't
do
like that
everything.
term.
I don't like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Let's just
that's a
change it.
horrible term.
This
You know
is
what term I
server of
also
the
hate?
bride.
You know what term I also hate? Mother-in-law, father-in-law, brother-in-law.
Why?
Because why is it in-law?
Because by law.
Yeah, but that's a horrible term. So you're only, like, that's a like, in Spanish it sounds better. Like, suegra.
Well, yeah. Spanish, in Spanish it
There's
sounds a lot better,
I
but
love
mother-in-law.
Like, that just sounds so, like,
Because
in-law.
in law.
Like,
By law.
by law, you are my mother.
Yeah.
It sounds so horrible.
I don't know.
that's such a good question.
It just sounds so, like,
You know what?
Or son-in-law.
yeah. I feel
Yeah,
like it
by
should be,
law.
like, more, like...
You know what's weird? When like a father gives a speech, right, at a wedding, it says, I feel like I lost my daughter today, but I also gained a son. I'm like, that sounds weird.
Wait, what did you...
You know when like people are like, oh, I feel like I lost a daughter today,
Oh, yeah. And
but
then
I feel like I
gained a
also
son.
gained a son, and I'm like,
Why'd you
that's
lose?
Weird.
Don't say lose a daughter because
Yeah.
you never lost a daughter.
But gaining a son makes it sound like they're brother and sister. You know what I mean?
Gaining a son. I mean,
Just to me, it sounds weird. I don't know.
I guess that... I feel like weddings in America are just really weird in general. Like, my mom
Too bad,
told
like
me...
we can't party how like your mom had the wedding.
My mom told me
literally
about her
partied
wedding.
all night, literally, and then they went to
Really?
breakfast the next day.
Yeah.
oh no, that's
Yeah, my mom told
I
me
didn't
her
sleep.
wedding, and I'm like, that seems like a wedding I want to do. And, like, I partially remember my uncle Mariano's wedding, and that was a wedding. And, like, what they do, at least from what I remember in Argentina, is the bridal party, or, like, the maid of honor and whoever is the witness and the family go to the courthouse and go get the marriage license together.
good court, yeah.
Yeah. And then we have the wedding.
Civil.
Yeah.
Ellie did it with Marcelo.
They had
It's like-
they
it's
got
like,
married by court and
yeah,
then
first.
Well, the week before, I don't know if you remember at Abuelo's house,
yeah.
like we had like a little
Yeah,
party.
mhm.
Everybody got dressed up. So the judge came to the house
Oh yeah, I
and
remember.
signed with the witness. So
Mhm.
they were technically married a week before their wedding.
Yeah, you get your civil wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like they do that in Argentina where like you do that and I guess in most European and Latin
I think
American
so,
countries where you do that first, which is like your civil wedding.
Mhm.
So you do that by witnesses and like your core wedding party and your family.
Yeah.
It's like very intimate.
Yeah, because it's just like you need your witnesses and like your core family.
I was
So
proud of
nice,
myself.
isn't it?
I was a witness for a marriage too.
I've
That one
not
time.
been a witness
Me
for
neither.
someone, and I want to be.
It was so cute. It was like
You can be mine.
it was like literally me, Chris's mom, and then whoever was getting married. It was like so intimate and it's so small. Like it was just us by court. And I was like, I'm like, they're like, oh, so beautiful. Like they're
That's
married, you know.
That's
But
awesome.
it was just me and her, like as the witness. But I was just like crying, like as like
I'm not
everybody
ag-
else was there.
I'm not against like court weddings. Like I know that like you know most people are like, oh, you should get married in the eyes of God and all of that. But like I think court weddings are like if that's what you want to do, that's nice.
Everyone's
You know
like
what?
different.
Yeah,
Who needs like you don't need to go like a whole 9 yards. Like that's
No.
nice.
I know someone who spent like 20 grand just on the venue,
That's insane.
See,
and that's just way too much money for a
intense.
wedding
I
for
would
like
rather,
4 or 5 hours.
I would rather have a backyard wedding,
Yeah.
or somewhere nice but reasonable price.
Yeah.
Like
But
at least
take- but
spend
take
minimum 5 grand,
Like,
or maybe even less.
I mean, your sweet 16 looked like a wedding, and I always
people
told
used
your
to come-
mom.
People
Remember?
would come up to me. I went to the bathroom and they're like, "Congratulations on you and your husband." And I'm like, "I'm 16.
Like, now that was a
Find me
party.
a husband if you want to, but I'm 16."
Wow. Yeah.
That was a good party, though. I remember I gave my speech.
Yeah.
I was crying my eyes out.
I remember.
I
A
know.
good party.
I
still
was
have
just
the
sitting
dress.
there staring at you
You
guys.
did?
Yeah, I kept the dress. Yeah.
I don't
You still
fit in
have
that.
it?
And the dress that I wore, I can't even zipper it up.
What dress did you wear?
It was like pink,
Yeah.
sparkle.
Yeah.
It was like a strapless, and it goes up to like above my knees, but there was like a tulle, like
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
like a train somewhat.
I think I know which one. Okay.
But yeah, it doesn't fit.
My theme was all like vintage, like
That was
Victorian,
Mhm.
because like still am obsessed with like England Victorian era,
Yeah.
and so my dress was like a corseted top that was see through, and I kept it.
I can't remember your
It was
dress.
really pretty.
I remember like some parts of it. Like I remember you're up there making the speech,
with my heels.
but I can't.
My
I could picture
6-inch
it.
heels.
I could picture it, but I can't remember
think
it
my
the rest
mom
of the night or
found
anything.
pictures.
I
the other day.
remember it was supposed to start at 7, right? 7.
Yeah, I think so.
6:15. We realized that we did not pick up the roses from ShopRite
Oh yeah.
at
What?
6:15, and your mom started freaking
Yeah,
out,
yeah.
and I was like, I calculated. I was like 20 minutes there. Pick it up. I can make it back. I can make it back. I can make. I took off my heels and I put on my sandals and I jetted.
Oh
I was
my
going like-
my niece's house too.
Yeah. No, but I went from the venue to ShopRite in East Brunswick.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was going like 80 on,
Oh
on
my
Route 130.
Gosh.
On 130 going 80. Then I jumped on 18, got to ShopRite. People are like looking at me, like, "Oh, you're so pretty." I'm like, "Thank you." I'm like, "I need the roses like now. Like, give me the
Now.
roses." And
But
like,
sometimes there's people don't work like.
no,
when
I know,
you don't
but
find-
that moment, honestly, there was actually like 5 or 6 people waiting. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. So I'm like, guys, I'm really sorry. I'm like, I have to get to my goddaughter's 16, and we have to. The party starts at 7, and we forgot the roses, and they were all really nice about it. And the lady was like, "Oh, I thought you guys, we thought for a second you weren't gonna show up because I had a pickup time to pick it up at 2
Oh my gosh! You're like 4 hours later.
because we were at Marisa's house.
Yeah,
we were
we were
getting
getting
ready
ready.
and all this stuff, and then she left, and because Clarissa was doing my hair still. And we had everything. We made sure we were there. And I get there, and your mom's like, "The flowers." I'm like, "Oh my god!" So I
so
got
many things
yeah.
went wrong that day. I remember I didn't sleep at all that night.
Yeah, you didn't. You were nervous.
So nervous.
And I remember I grabbed the flowers. I came back at 6:55, and people were walking in. They're like, "Oh, Dee." I'm like, "Hold on. I'll say hi later. I gotta go.
Oh
I
my
jetted
gosh.
inside. I told your mom. I was like, "We got it."
I was scared for like the baby shower, and it was only back in the backyard, so I can't imagine the Sweet 16.
It was fun.
I never
It
had a
was
Sweet
good
16.
time. Me neither.
I got the option of you can have a Sweet 16 or we can go to Disney World. And I remember
You got
I was-
both?
No.
Oh.
I remember I was like, well, I love Disney, but I really want to wear a poofy dress. I don't want to dance.
Yeah.
Like, that was my one concern. I was just like, I want to be a princess
No.
and I want to dance.
Yeah.
Do I want to go see princess or do I want to be a princess?
I can be
I
one
wanna be a
and then
princess.
see one later.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to be the princess.
Remember there's like people like from church, like the older people that were dancing?
Oh, yeah.
Remember Bill?
Oh, yeah.
The old-
Disney's always there.
Disney's
you
always-
only turn 16 once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, so
But
I
there
was
are
like,
some people
I'm-
that prefer to either get a car or go to Disney.
Which is
Or
fine.
go on vacation.
That's their choice. But for
or-
me, a party, something memorable.
I prefer
I
that.
was,
If that's what you
you know,
wanted.
like, it was the one option that I just, like, again, I have always been, like, I remember one year I found the application to Disney to sign up to be a princess. Like, you can audition to
Oh,
be
yeah,
a
that's
Disney
right.
princess.
Yeah.
I had always wanted to be a princess. So I was like, I have the option to be one in real life.
Like,
So
I'm
here
the
I am.
princess.
Here I am. Let me do it. And I remember, like, we found ways to cut, like, specific corners. Like, we went to this huge warehouse where we bought my dress for,
Oh,
like,
I
a
remember.
lot cheaper. And, like, we found ways to, like, be cheaper in certain aspects.
Yeah.
And you find ways to, like, save in certain things.
If
But,
you
like,
if you really look, you could find
Yeah.
like
And,
people
like-
can
Yeah.
spend like $30 on a vase, but you can go somewhere else find something even nicer
yeah.
At
for
Dollar
like
Tree.
our
for
own
like
centerpieces.
$15.
Yeah, like, I remember we went to this warehouse called D&D
Yeah.
Decorations. And, like, we bought
They
this,
still have it there,
Yeah,
actually.
we bought all the things to make the centerpieces, and I remember I think the centerpieces each one was like $20,
Yeah.
and we had like specific amount of tables, and like so $20 for like I think it was like 16 or 17 tables, and it would have cost like $100 to have someone make each centerpiece.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So like we tried to save in certain things.
Yeah.
So like yes, the venue cost a lot of money, but that's because they made our food and made the cake.
Yeah.
Which in reality is not that bad.
Yeah.
Because if you have to spend venue, then separate catering, then separate cake, then
Yeah,
separate everything.
So like in the long run, like, certain things, like, outweighed other things. But, like, again, I was only 16 once.
Yeah.
And, like, I look back on it, and I still have the dress. And I love that dress.
I used to
And
sleep
one day I'll give it
over.
to my daughter.
Remember
and she'll
I-
probably be like, ew, Mom, I don't
I don't want to wear your dress. That's so outdated.
God.
Well, vintage dress. I've seen a TikTok where now people are wearing their grandmother's dresses, like their prom dresses,
Yeah.
and they're actually really pretty.
Right.
You saw that?
Unless my daughter's, like, the opposite of me. She's like, ew, vintage? Who would like vintage?
Mom, God, Mom. Don't embarrass
I'm
me.
trendy, Mom. Or I have all boys, so.
Or
Who
that
knows?
too. Yo,
Trending.
Mom, like, what's your deal? I don't want to wear the dress.
Who said I like dresses, Mom?
Or trending. Remember we had that conversation last night about things that are coming back,
Oh, yeah.
like overalls,
Yeah, I
socks
got
with
some overalls.
sandals.
Yeah.
What else is there?
Sean-
Bell
Sean-
bottoms.
Bell bottom.
She-
I don't
like-
really
like-
like bell bottoms.
Jeans, boots with the fur.
What the fuck?
Looking at her.
Hey.
She had
The
the
floor.
floor.
Next thing you know, shawty got low, low, low.
You can't stop once that song goes on.
I know. No,
But,
I don't really like bell bottoms, so.
I love bell bottoms.
Really?
The problem is that I'm overly curvy, so they don't work.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
it's just like one of those things that's like you gotta be like thin.
Like,
And
no,
flat.
no hips.
No
Like,
hips,
just
no booty.
straight.
Yeah, you gotta be like flat.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah, bell bottoms are made to make you look curvy. If you're already curvy, they don't work.
yeah, it's gonna be like
That's
too much
true.
curvy.
Too much.
Yeah.
You're just
That's
gonna look
true.
like a big watermelon.
Or like the hourglass, like
Like a pear.
Very, yeah.
Or squash.
That's fine.
Two pairs back together.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh man. But it was good having you.
Yes, thank
Yes.
you, thank you.
You have to come back on.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, next thing we have to talk about Johnny Depp and Amber's case.
Yes.
We will
Oh
be
my
talking
Do you
about
want
that.
to join that one?
Yes.
Okay,
He's
next
been
episode.
Vindicated. Thank the Lord.
What does that mean?
He's righteous. Not righteous. He's been made free.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha, okay. Well, but we'll talk all about that
Yeah.
when we get.
So grab
No.
your notes.
Yes, I
Yes,
have
we need
so
notes,
many.
facts.
Yes.
Yeah.
So many. I watched the whole thing.
I did too,
She
but like
did
there's
too.
a lot of things that I missed because like I was walking around. I just had the TV on and like whatever I just heard something, I'm like, what does that mean? Yeah. Like so I did miss like a good amount of things, but I for the most part stuck to it. So
Yeah.
we'll talk about that next episode.
Sounds good.
Yep.
All right. Well, everybody, I hope you have a good week. Enjoy. Find us
Yeah.
on YouTube, Spotify, TikTok now.
Yeah, but we're trying to still upload our last episode because for some reason it's not working.
So
I don't
sorry,
know what's
guys.
going
We'll
on.
work on that.
Yeah.
And where else? Facebook. What else?
Instagram. Yep.
So.
So we'll see what goes on.
All right, guys. We'll hope we have a great week. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.